Hello, my name is Larathan Carew, and this is something a little bit different. This is Dark Souls Prepare to Die edition. What I'm going to do a little let's play of this. A little bit about the game. This game is a fantasy RPG action game, if you want to pigeonhole everything. It's a bit. I think it's about 1 or 2 years old now. The expansion's recent. The Prepare to Die expansion has just come out on the 360. Well, I say just. It was about 6 months ago, perhaps. It's made by From Software, and it's one of my all-time favourite games. I absolutely adore this game. Really, if I sit here trying to explain the game, I'm going to end up gushing. So I'm going to get into it. This is the character creation screen. I'll just go through what you have. Of course, first one is name, and then you've got gender, which has absolutely no bearing on your character, so go from there. Now, with the classes, there are classes, and they do have different properties, though they don't define your character. I'll get into that once I'm in game. Generally, when I play, if I'm just going to make a standard character, I generally either use a thief or a bandit. Now, the reason I use these is the thief, as you can see there, starts with a master key, and the master key lets you open various locks around the place. You can find it in game, but it's quite late on, so starting with it is a bit of an advantage. The reason I could either choose the bandit as well is because he has quite a high endurance, and that is my first starting point. Endurance endurance is generally just a good stat to have. It defines your equipment burden, which defines your dodge and movement speed, and it's quite a good stat to stack on. At least in my opinion. There are quite a lot of people who probably would disagree with that. For this run, I'm going to go with the bandit. Now, because I've gone with a bandit, I can go master key. If I went with a thief, I'd already had it, so I can choose a different one. I usually choose black firebomb, so I can kill something early on in the game. Physique has no bearing, face has no bearing, this is all just... To be honest, these are just cosmetic, and to be honest, you wear headgear all the time. Well, at least I usually do. I mean, you can't even notice. This is about as close as your camera will ever get to your character. You can't even notice. So I don't really see the point in it. But it's in there, so let's do it. And here's the story, so I'll shut up.
In the age of ancients, the world was unformed, shrouded by fog. A land of grey crags, arch trees, and everlasting dragons. But then there was fire, and with fire came disparity. Heat and cold, life and death, and of course, light and dark. Then from the dark they came and found the souls of lords within the flame. Nito, the first of the dead. The Witch of Izalith and her daughters of Chaos. Gwyn, the Lord of Sunlight, and his faithful knights. And the furtive pygmy, so easily forgotten. With the strength of lords, they challenged the dragons. wind's mighty bolts peeled apart their stone scales. The witches weaved great firestorms. Nito unleashed a miasma of death and disease. And Seath the Scaleless betrayed his own, and the dragons were no more. Thus began the Age of Fire. But soon the flames will fade, and only dark will remain. Even now, there are only embers, and man sees not light, but only endless nights. And amongst the living are seen carriers of the accursed dark sign.
What I always think when I see the ring, or the dark sign, whatever. Now I should, oh, hang on, there's more speaking.
Yes, indeed.
See?
The dark sign brands the undead.
With a hot iron poker. That's how the dark sign was born.
And in this land,
Country is forbidden.
the undead are corralled and led to the north.
Like cattle. All they
where
want is a
they are
hug.
locked away to await the end of the world.
Well, without country, the world may as well end, so, yeah. I'm cool with that.
This is your fate.
Dun dun dun. What's the time? Who dat? A new friend! Yeah. Eh? Hi! Bye! Hi! Yeah. Why does it have to glow out of his arse as well? Well, in the cutscene now it's glowing out of his back. Right, so this is the game. Just to point out as well, I am playing with a 360 controller because the PC controls are just completely unfathomable. That rat looks different. The intro is very vague, and it's vague for a reason. The creator of this game, who I've completely forgotten his bloody name, or the story director, I should say, is very well known for misleading and doing mad things. I'm not going to read all the tutorial bits. If you get the game, you'll learn how to play it quite quickly. It's quite intuitive. Difficult. Very, 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 very difficult. There's a reason the expansion was called Prepare to Die. But yeah, fun nonetheless. So yeah, hopefully I'm going to complete this playthrough. I've never actually completed this game. For people who've played the game before, I've only ever gotten to the point where I got the Lord Vessel. I've tried to challenge a few of the further bosses, but I just can't do it. So it's going to be a challenge to get further, but I'm certainly up for it. Haven't decided what sort of build I want to do yet, but I'll decide that along the road. Along the way, even. Probably going to be a standard Dex build, but we'll see. Who dat? Another friend? Maybe he'll have a glowing ass too. No. Pro tip, run the fuck away from this guy. He will wreck your face if you don't have a weapon. like the black fire bombs, which I could have had if I started as a thief. Ow. Got hit. Because I was too busy equipping. You can equip and move. When you go into the menus, the game does not stop. Common problem with newbies. And backstab. I know when I first played this game, the lack of pausing nearly made me lose my lunch. Or shit, or whatever, I don't know. I bailed out of saying losing my shit for some reason, even though I've already sworn on this video, so I don't know. Right, what you do here is, look up there, there's a ridge. I wonder what that is, perhaps it's a new friend. Oh god, it's not a new friend! Yeah, that hurts. Usually takes off about half your health. And Oswald, I believe. No, it's not. His name's not Oswald. I don't know. Random guy. He doesn't actually tell you.
You're no hollow. Thank goodness. I'm done for, I'm afraid. I'll die soon, then lose my sanity. I wish to ask something of you. You and I are both undead. Hear me out, will you?
Go.
Regrettably, I have failed in my mission.
Such a failure!
But perhaps you can keep the torch lit. There is an old saying in my family. Thou who art undead art chosen.
Chosen
and
to
thine
be
exodus from
my...
the undead asylum maketh pilgrimage to the land of ancient lords. When thou ringest the bell of awakening, the fate of the undead thou shalt know. Well, now you know. And I can die with hope in my heart. Oh, one more thing. Here, take this. An Estus flask. An undead favorite.
Aha.
Oh, and this.
Thank you, buddy.
Now I must bid farewell.
Thanks, buddy.
I would hate to harm you after death. So go now. And thank you.
Well, you could either die by natural causes or die by axe. Because you were going to die anyway, fool.
Why?
Right. The game gives you a lot of visual cues, clues even. He had, or it looks like, I'm not 100%, he looks like he had the Sword of Solaire, or the Sunlight Sword, or whatever it's called, yeah. Which you'll see later in the game may be a indication that he was part of the Sunlight Covenant. But it's no guarantee. This is the thing. This game tells you very little. Like in the beginning intro, it mentioned the dark sign. If you look in your inventory, you have the dark sign. But no explanation as to how you got it, why you have it, and why people are saying you're chosen, and what you're actually meant to do here. I think your character's actual motivation for going ahead and being a general badass is he just wants to get the hell out of here. But throughout the game, it just gets completely warped, and you end up going on this mad dash quest to do something, but no one actually tells you what that something is, and it's just completely brilliant. I know it sounds like I am gushing completely and utterly. I fully admit that, but I absolutely love it. The mystery surrounding what is happening with this game. There is I'm hesitant to say prequel, but there is an earlier entry to the series, I should say, called Demon Souls. Much the same sort of game, and if you've played that but not played Dark Souls, you'll notice a lot of similarities. It's right bumper to do a normal swing, right trigger to do a heavy swing, like on Demon Souls it's R1 to do normal and R2 to do heavy. Much the same. And most of the controls are similar. But they aren't direct sequels. The problem in Demon Souls was just people were ghosts, pretty much, it seemed like. People were spirits, and there was a big bad guy corrupting those spirits. I haven't played Demon Souls anywhere near as much as I played this, so I don't know that much, and I can't remember. But in this, the problem is, people are going hollow, and they're going nuts because of it. And you're trying... well... I don't know. Anyway, you'll find out. Hiya! Ha! Half his health bar gone. See what I mean? You need a weapon to take this guy down. If you still had the broken short sword, you'd be doing 1 damage. That was 400. And la la la. No boss music. If you're going to play this game and you want to play it well, learn to dodge. Blocking's all well and good, but most bosses will take away your block in 1 hit, leaving you staggered for a ridiculous amount of time. And he's dead. So, your dodge roll has invincibility frames. Now, I don't have the fastest dodge roll, and I really should have remedied that. If I take off a bit of armour, I've got a faster one. And don't quote me on this, but I think the faster dodge roll you have, the more invincibility frames you have. I know with the Darkwood Grain Ring, which gives you the ninja flip, you do have more invincibility frames. That's been confirmed already. But I don't know about the speed. I know that you have, if you got the slowest one, the fat roll, you just never get up. Anyway, more talking.
Only in the ancient legends it is stated that one day an undead shall be chosen.
Meh.
To leave the undead asylum in pilgrimage to the land of the ancient lords.
What's it called?
Lordran.
Ah, thanks, babe. Nice view. Now, Birdie, please be sure to, like, place me gently. I've got bad knees! Oh, you bitch. Excuse me. Right, so, here we are, the game. Well, for players of Demon Souls, this is basically your Nexus. This is where you start. I am online. I have signed in, so you may see an occasional notification of people coming online. Congrats to them, they now have a spot on YouTube. Right, before I do anything, rest, level up. I'm going to whack a few points in Dex. Reason I've done that is before Endurance is so I can wield a couple of the other weapons that are lying around. Right, so let's talk to this guy. The Crestfallen Knight, I think he's called.
Well, what do we have here? You must be a new arrival. Let me guess. Fate of the undead, right? Well, you're not the first. But there's no salvation here. You'd have done better to rot in the undead asylum. But too late now. Well, since you're here, let me help you out. There are actually 2 bells of awakening. One is up above in the undead church. The other is far, far below, in the ruins at the base of Blight Town. Ring them both, and something happens. Brilliant, right? Not much to go on, but I have a feeling that won't stop you. So, off you go. It is why you came, isn't it? To this accursed land of the undead?
So, once again, another example of not explaining anything. What are the Bells of Awakening? Why do we want to ring them? And how do we get to them? I mean, if you didn't speak to him, you'd just be wandering around now. You said one's up in the Undead... Was it Undead Parish or Undead Church, he said? And the other's down in Blight Town. Now, the standard route is to go up to the one above and then down to the one below, because Blight Town is a bastard. Let's see what else he's got to say.
Ah, your face. You're practically hollow. But who knows? Going hollow hollow could solve quite a bit.
Yeah, well. Hollow is basically this form when you have the red skin and you look like a zombie, pretty much. You can restore your humanity. Oh yeah, that always gave you 6. I thought you only gave you 3 at one point. You can restore your humanity, but that opens you up for online interactions, including in being invaded. So I'm no good at PvP, so I generally don't, but sometimes I do.
Hello there. I believe we are not acquainted.
Hi, Petrus.
I am Petrus of Thurland.
Ah.
Have you business with us?
Got
If not, I'd prefer to keep a distance, if possible.
The Jolly
Hello
Fat
there.
Friar.
I realize that I have requested that we retain our distance, but I also want you to know that it is not meant in ill will. Here, take this as a token of peace. No, go ahead. It's for you. Oh my, you again. Oh, I know. How about this? I have to await my companions here anyway. So what if I were to teach you some miracles?
Okay.
Would that please you? Very well. Then first, a covenant with the gods.
Okay. Miracles are basically the white magic of this game. You have, like, you heal, you have teleports home.
Now, only...
And what he just said there, I wish I didn't skip it, was miracles are dependent on your faith. Now that is a gameplay cue because faith is a stat.
We are...
Yeah.
Come
Your lady
again.
isn't here,
The
so
effect...
I don't care. Right, yeah. Faith is used for miracles. There are 3 other now types of magic. There's sorcery, which is like direct magic, that's what I like to call it. It directly influences the world and enemies around you, instead of miracles, which generally, quite limited in their effect. They only usually affect you. There are a couple which are pure attack and a couple which are area, but not many. You got pyromancy, which, as the name would suggest, is fire-based. There is a lot of fire. Then there's the 4th one, which was brought out as part of, it came about in the expansion Prepared to Die, dark magic, which I've not really had that much experience of. I've not gone that far into the expansion. I've really not gone that far into this game, I've got to be honest, even though I've got over 70, 80 hours played. It just kind of shows how bad I am at this game, I guess. And I know this route off by heart. Ah, fuck! I usually don't get caught by that. Generally, probably not a good idea to fight these guys at the moment. I'm pretty weak. I mean, that one little hit, and that is a little hit, took nearly half my health off. Scheisse. No! Give me my... Ow! Ow, and that is what happens. Dead. Dun dun dun. It's gonna happen a lot. But you just pop straight back out of the last bonfire you rested at. So always keep an eye on your bonfires. That was a suicide run anyway. Because it was either you suicide or you get out, you come back, you rest at the bonfire, and the mobs reset. So I didn't lose anything. That's why I spent all my souls first. I only lost 89 souls. Souls are just in case you don't know, are the currency of the game. You get them by killing enemies most of the time. There are some items which give you souls, but generally most people don't use them. There we go, Soul of a Lost Undead. That gives you 200. Sounds a lot. It's actually quite a pitiful amount. I think there's only one more item in Filing Shrine. It's just around here. A lot of people miss this one, but then it's nothing worthwhile, so... And that's that. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to I think I can wield this weapon. There's a weapon which I'm just going to go pick up, and then if I can, I'm going to come back to the shrine. No, I'm not. The next piece of the puzzle is a suicide run. I have made it out once. So this, on the way I get to pick up a weapon which I might be able to use, which is the reason I upped my dex. You come down here, you go on here. Right. This is, when it comes up, New Londo Ruins. And the reason I came down here was... Dun dun dun, what's this? Kill you. The Estoc. It's a rapier class weapon. Do I have enough? Yes! Ha 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 ha! My memory is still working. It does less damage than the battle axe, but the reason I don't want to use a battle axe is for this reason. When you swing, if you miss, you do that little stagger. Whereas if you actually hit, see there, it actually didn't stagger me. It did on the last one because I hit on the last frame of the attack. So I prefer the Estoc because it's just a bit beefier. The one-handed strong is quite nice, quite a good sweep. If you see a corpse in a barrel, break the barrel. They generally have an item in them. On them even. The barrel themselves. You can break as many barrels as you like, you won't get anything. You'll only get something if there's a corpse in them. Now, I'm not going to demonstrate what ghosts do, I'm just going to tell you, without those transient curses I've just picked up, and they were there for a reason, you cannot touch these ghosts. But they can certainly touch you. So the reason I'm down here, as I said, suicide run. You can see a couple are under the bridge. Oh, firekeepers up. Oh my god, I made it out. Oh my god, this is the second time I've managed to do that. But the last time I managed to do it, I just got plain killed. Oh my god. Oh my god. I am serious happy. I should mention as well that the ghost can hit through your block. So there's no point blocking either. I just did it because it looks better when you've got a shield in front of you when you go charging. Are they coming after me? Nope. Yay! I am one happy band now. Happy bandit. Now that's the way I came. Oh, actually there's an item over here I forgot. I know a lot of people forget this one. That is 500 souls? Nameless soldier? I think it's 500. Either way, not really worth it. So I'm going to come through here. This is a master key door, so you need it to go through. Valley of Drakes. This is more of a shortcut area. If you go through that tunnel, you come out quite far on into Blight Town. It's only a couple of short ladder drops, so you can get to the boss of Blight Town. But it is fucking hard. If you follow the valley all the way through, you come out. Where do you come out? You come out on the other side of New Londo Ruins, but there's a massive gate, and you can't go through it until you get a key. Ooh. Dead dragon. Yeah, he's dead. Let's grab these items. Oh no, he's not dead! And he will one-shot you. I've only gotten out of here again once. Pure luck. Don't know how I managed it, to be honest. Right, those weapons. The sword is a faith sword. You see, you actually need faith to use it, and the damage scales hit ridiculous levels with faith. The shield is a very nice shield. I love this shield. I always go and get it. The reason I get it is, one, it's got... Oh, I didn't know the spider shield had 100% physical. Yeah, it's got 100% physical. It's actually got lowest... Oh, hang on a second. I may be revising my strategy. Yeah. I actually will be revising my strategy. I always go for the Dragon Crest shield, thinking it's much better than any shield you start with. But the Spider Shield is actually much better, and I know the Spider Shield has a different effect of giving you resistance to poison. Never mind! I've been a pleb. So yeah, that is how I start my game, usually, whenever I start as a bandit. Obviously, I differ it up if I go for others, like if I go for Sorcerer, I go down into Blighttown, and I grab the Tin Catalyst and the Red Sorceress gear, which is another suicide run. And Faith, if I go for a Faith, I go for these weapons and I equip them, because they're both, the shield and sword is definitely better than the ones you start with. So yeah, this is the end of the first episode, quite a long one, probably just over a half hour. Next episode we'll start off the journey and see what happens. See you next time.